Hey, it's Francis. Now, some of you may get triggered watching this video. And the reason being is because it probably is going to hit a couple of emotional nerves with most traders that are going to watch this and most of the people that watch these videos. And I want to cover today why most people are failing at trading and the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems that you are having and why you are not profitable. And of course, there's many elements when it comes to trading. We know that. But I just want to break down in today and I want to show you that the things you shouldn't be doing, what you can do, and then how I can get you to be profitable in the future, the things that you need to do along the way. So the other day not on the last video, prior to videos, we got where I was just sitting in the park and I was talking about peace. And it did really well. It resonated with a lot of people because I believe that peace, environments, things like that, which comes from within, but the outside, obviously, externally, really helps with internally, is what breeds success. Now, some people look at monetary of success. I don't know more. I used to when I was immature. But monetary is part of success. Of course it is. But it's only one element of that success. But in trading, you are going to be judged on monetary ultimately at the end. But before that, there's many things. Now, in that video, I got a very interesting comment. And the comment was that how can the individual, how can they find peace and trade in a stress-free way? Because I preach that. From a struggling financial position. Now, my instant response was, you should not be trading if you are in a struggling financial position. Now, that's pretty obvious to me now, but it wasn't when I first started trading. And many of you watching this video may be in that position where you have just started trading, you've been watching my channel, you may have even booked a call with me for my help, but you are at a position where you financially, you are not secure or where you want to be, or you don't have that spare $5,000-$10,000 on the side to invest in yourself. And because trading is such a low entry barrier, a prop firm from Top Step is $40 and then you can get going that way, you feel the need that you can start and chase this money from a very bad position. Now, some of you maybe say, no, I don't agree with that. Well, I can trade from being broke. You can try and trade from being broke. There's no doubt about that. I did it on my first attempt for the 2-3 years. I did that. I tried to make sure or tried to get trading to work for me because I was broke. If you don't know the story, go back, retired professional football, broke, crazy times. But I could not get nowhere. I could not get nowhere because there are so many other emotional triggers and self-awareness and self-development traits that we are not aware of what is happening from a position of desperation. Now, in certain areas of our life and certain things, a position of desperation where there's no plan B and our backs are against the wall and this has to work. Yes, that works. That's what I did when it came into trading and went full time. It had to work. My back was against the wall. But there's one key difference between then and then what happened prior, when I was coming from a position of being broke and desperation. When I went full time this time, I had money. I had a buffer. I had my bills paid. So if you're coming into this brand new, I speak to many of you during calls. And one of those questions in my surveys is, do you have the funds to invest in yourself? Because if you don't have the funds to invest in yourself, you might as well forget trading for now and go and do something else and build a buffer for you to be good at trading, not just to be good, but to invest in your education. It's very easy. Now I have loads of content and there's many traders out there with loads of strategy contents and telling you how to do this and how to do that or whatever it may be, or more the wow side of things. But to actually know how to do it, you have to work with someone, in my personal opinion. You have to invest in yourself, in my personal opinion. Now, there's a lot of people out there that don't want to go down that route because they want to figure it out all on their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, it's going to take you a very long time and you must have financial stability if you are going to go and try and do this on your own. There's no doubt about that. But the shortcut to that is getting the money to invest in someone to help you. That's what I do, okay? And if you want help with that, there's a link below and all the actual stuff, and we can get you that shortcut. But to start from a position of desperation, people sense desperate people, don't they? The market is going to sense a desperate trader who really wants to make money. People sense desperate people. If you're a salesperson and if you keep badgering someone, badgering, you're a desperate salesperson. I never do that with any of our clients. If you want our help, you get our help. If you don't, that's fine. We will never, ever, ever keep bombarding you with things like that, because that is a sign of desperation. And the market will see that from you straight away. There is no doubt about that. The market will see that from you straight away. So I just want to touch on a few things here that I've got noted down that you need to take on board when you're moving forward. So whether you're starting from where you're at right now and you're broke, concentrate on spending money on a systemized way of trading, not chasing the prop firms, not trying to make money straight away. Get some money and try and figure out a system. You can even use ChatGPT. You can do whatever. I would suggest working with someone to do this. The system is going to help you develop the skills and the mindset to maneuver around the obstacles, which is the emotional triggers that are going to come into your trading, right? And if you're from a position of desperation, those emotional triggers are going to absolutely smash you to bits, and you're going to lose everything anyway, all right? So try and figure out a system. Build a system, which is very, very simple once you know how to do it from someone who's already done it, and that will eradicate most of your issues. Number two is, again, think about this. When have you ever been in power or things have been flowing? Normally, when you are in a position of strength. You're in control of the situation. You don't panic. The emotions don't get in the way because you are in control of the situation, because you know that you have the experience or the finance or whatever it may be to be in a position of strength. Do not come into trading from a position of desperation, because you are going to find out very, very quickly that this is why 90% of the people fail in trading. And then they quit. And then they say it's a scam, and then they go and do something else, or they do a cheap course, or they whatever, and everybody's a scammer. People shouldn't sell courses. Let me tell you one thing about this. You do not get better at anything unless you invest in yourself through financial means or time means. If you don't have the financial abilities, you will not get nowhere if you do not invest in yourself. That must be books, it must be courses, it must be masterminds, it must be whatever it may be. You must invest in yourself. You cannot do this all on your own. It will take you decades, absolute decades. And the game changer is when you invest in yourself. There's no doubt about that. From my experience, I tried to do everything for years on my own. It didn't get nowhere. Started paying people, and it just catapulted my success in trading and in life. Number three, what I'm going to speak about quickly is delayed gratification. I know you've heard this 1,000 times. And you're going to say, Pram, I keep hearing this, delayed gratification. I know it's hard. I know. I couldn't do it at all in my younger years. If I wanted something, I'd have the money, I'd go and buy it. If I wanted that Biscoff cake, I love Biscoff cake, I'd go and buy it, because I was in the position to just do whatever I want. I didn't have to worry about the calories, or I didn't have to worry about my bank balance or anything like that. And that created a monster inside me of, I wanted instant gratification in everything that I did. And it caused me a lot of problems in the end, in relationships, in finances. It caused me a lot of problems. So try and get a habit or a taste for delayed gratification. That can be very, very simply by not chasing profits and taking the data of each individual trade. Again, I speak about that to all my clients. So read and study about delayed gratification. There's a great book called The Compound Effect. Go and read that book. It tells you about how things compound negatively and positively in your life. Go and check that out. And then there's a fourth point here that I've got to put is something that I learned from the business mentor was talking about the moment you don't need money or you stop chasing money, you make 10 times more, if not 100 times more money. And all the people that you follow, entrepreneurs, business people, they say this because it's not some guru stuff. It's actually true. If you are not thinking about chasing money, you get more money. I know some they will call themselves successful people because on a monetary value, they're doing really well. But their body's out of shape, their mind's out of shape, their relationships are false. It's not real success because all they're doing is chasing money. If they actually switched and said, well, the money's going to take care of itself, but let me work on other areas here, that money will 10x. And in trading, that will 10x, because in trading, you're constantly thinking about the P&L. You're looking at the P&L. I would change the P&L to ticks or points and concentrate on the process. Because if you are chasing money, it will always elude you. You will get a little bit, it will blow. It will get a little bit, it will blow. You will try and hoard that money, not spend it on education and not spend it on improving yourself. But if you don't think about the money and you think about the process and you think about investing anything that you get into your journey, it will come 10 times quicker. Money is abundance, and you must have that mindset along the way when you're thinking about trading. It's very, very important. So again, as I go back to the beginning of this video, it quickly came to my thought, because that's what happens to me. That's what happens to me. That's what happens to most of you people watching this. You can't start trading if you're broke. I've got to tell you, if this offends you, you can't start trading if you're broke, because you're going to be broke for a long, long time. A long, long time. And you need to come from a position of strength. Start a business, do your 9 to 5 and get a buffer, and then go all in. Whatever you do, do not start from a position of being broke. All right. And the best thing that you can do is shortcut that by working with someone like myself or anyone like that. If you do need my guidance and my help, where we have that one-to-one, it is not a group where there's 200 people and you don't speak to me. It is not where one of my closers or anything like that speaks to you and then you don't have nothing to do with me. It is me with our community helping you on a one-to-one basis get to at least being funded if you've never been funded, and if you've been funded, get you to get those payouts on a consistent basis. That's what we do. So again, if you need any help, there is a link below. Enjoy the rest of the sun.